Hello everyone, Stuti this side. Today I'll be talking about resources and how to get started with Kubernetes. This is my first time giving a talk at Kubecon and I feel incredibly honored to be here with all of you. This already feels like a dream since I'm a beginner myself. So let me introduce myself a bit out there. Hi, my name is Stuti Mishra. I'm currently doing my CSE undergrad from VIT Bhopal, India. I'm a machine learning and a DevOps enthusiast. And most importantly, I'm a contributor at DoK. My pronouns are she and they, and I'm comfortable using both of them equally. Here are my socials, just in case you want to connect. So before we get started with the resources part, it is very important for us to understand why are we learning Kubernetes? Why should we even bother? DoK conducted research recently and gathered insights from over 500 executives and technology leaders on how Kubernetes is being used for data and factors driving further adoption. And the key findings show that 90% believe that it is ready for stateful workloads, and a large majority, about 70%, are running them in production with databases topping the list. With significant benefits like consistency, standardization, and management, business demands are creating pressures for further adoption. In short, Kubernetes has become a core part of IT industry and it is going to get bigger. The picture you see right here, this is not even half of the Kubernetes ecosystem. And it is growing by leaps and bounds each day. With a growth rate so dynamic, getting started at the first place might feel a bit overwhelming. At least it did to me, since I've also started pretty recently. Here's a short story on how I got started. Basically, I was scrolling through LinkedIn and I came across Bart's rap videos. I had no idea someone could collaborate rap videos and technology in such a cool way. I gave DoK a follow, and via feed, I got to know that it is conducting a session on Kubernetes certification with Cockroach Labs. The name sounded familiar. I attended the live stream. I had no idea what CKA, CKAD, CKS, and all these terms meant. But I just joined it and wrote a quick summary about whatever I understood. It might not be the exact representation of what they wanted to convey, but what I understood. Surprisingly enough, that got selected as the best entry, and I got a couple of swags from both DoK and Cockroach Labs. So that was how I got started, and here I am to help you get started with your journey. Basically, I have compiled a list of resources and most of them are very beginner friendly. So make sure you check them out. Structured courses. So I personally took Introduction to Kubernetes by Linux Foundation and edX. The other two, one by Udacity, Scalable Microservices with Kubernetes, Getting Started with Kubernetes Engine on Coursera. Both of these are by recommendation from my friends. They found it pretty useful and I thought I should share them as well. So basically, these courses will help you get comfortable with terms that right now might sound a bit strange, like orchestration, containerization, deployment, and monolithic services, microservices, and all these terms. And if you're someone who listens and learns, then these podcasts are something that you cannot miss. Kubernetes podcast from Google, Popcast by Dan Pop, and the New Stack podcast. Why you should listen to them? Because it will broaden your perspective and analogies are pretty great. You will learn how things are happening in the real world, how all of these like tech terms and like industry people are working with the technology. And when talking about resources, how could I forget YouTube channels, the place from where we all are getting our degrees practically. So you can check out Tech World with Nana for DevOps tutorials. You can check out IBM's YouTube channel for crisp and concise explanations to complex concepts. DoK community for weekly meetups with industry experts. It will help you keep like it will keep you updated with all the like new stuff going on in the industry. Anay's channel for 100 days of Kubernetes. It will keep you pretty much in flow. And I am a strong advocate that learning should be fun. While you're learning, it is very important to have fun and you should enjoy the process. So here are some resources that I've compiled for you. And who doesn't love comics? So while you're doing all that tech stuff, make sure you take a little break and give these comics a read, because definitely they're pretty well illustrated and pretty interesting as well. Smooth Sailing with Kubernetes by Google, Piffy and Friends by CNCF. It is basically a series, like entire series, different scenarios out there. And Captain Q is one nasty character if you just read through it. Another unconventional resource that I have for you is DoK's coloring book. As you can see here, Mona Lisa morphed into Cassandra character. Basically, DoK is all about combining two things that don't go together usually, like technology and art, technology and music. So I believe DoK is all about unique combinations. And it is developed by Nelly Tobey. So make sure you go through it once. And memes are something that unite all of us. So while you're having all your like tech stress outs, make sure you follow these accounts so that you smile along. Meme on Twitter, Kubernetes and DevOps humors, these are Reddit spaces. So you can follow them to enjoy the process while you're learning. So I believe getting involved is the best way to get started. As Benjamin Franklin rightly said, and I quote, "Tell me and I forget, teach me and I remember, involve me and I learn." And what's a better way to get involved than DoK itself? So DoK is the community you need. You can hop onto our Slack channel, ask all your questions at beginners at Arena. They'll get answered pretty quickly. You can make friends, you can learn along with them, you can network with them. You will have loads of opportunities, similar communities and growth. And our weekly Twitter spaces will keep you updated with the new happenings in the industry. And lastly, contribute, right? All the contributions are valid, non-code, code contributions, all of them. Be it illustrations, raps, blogs, anything and everything you do, we have a place for that. And if not, we'll make it. So this is the conclusion for my entire talk. In short, get started. There are loads of resources out there. The resources I've mentioned, the list is not exhaustive. You can definitely explore. But basically, I wanted to cover different styles and different types of learning, right? You can learn from courses, podcasts, YouTube, comics, DoK's coloring book, Twitter spaces, Reddit, blogs, documentation, anything and everything under the sun. And while you're doing all your learning, there are some key points that I'd like to emphasize on. One being, honor your own pace. Like, this is very important. Do not get overwhelmed. Do not compare yourself with others. It's pretty okay because we all have different speeds, different learning paces, different learning styles. So honor your own pace. Second one is learn in public. So if you learn in public and share your learnings via Twitter or any other medium like blog or anything, who knows, you might inspire someone, or you might find a friend who is starting at the same level. So you two can learn together. And third one being, be active in the community, be involved in the community. Lastly, like this is very important, ask questions, guys. Ask questions. There is no such thing as a dumb question or a stupid question. I cannot emphasize on this enough. Ask questions. So a huge shout out to DoK community for being a super dope and welcoming place out there. And on an ending note, I'd like to mention one thing that Bart told all of us while we were rehearsing. People might forget what you told them or what you taught them, but they might not forget. They will definitely remember how you made them feel. And on that note, I hope I made you feel comfortable with getting started. That's it, guys. Thank you so much for having me here. These are my socials, just in case you want to connect. Feel free to drop by and chat. And that's it. It already feels great that I'm doing this at Kubecon. Huge shout out to the DoK community once again. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.